Anyway, firstly, pre-match press conferences for us in the media is a norm. Pakistan have done it twice now. They cancelled the one ahead of UAE, ahead of the India game. What does this tell you, sitting from the outside?
Well, I don't know what the thinking behind that is, but as far as I know, I thought that was mandatory.
That's correct.
That it is, and then if the teams don't do it, I don't know if there's a penalty or whatever it is. But in today's day and age, where it's so important for the media also to be involved, to be kept informed with what's happening, because look, cricket also mustn't forget that it has got competition from other sports. Maybe in the subcontinent, it doesn't quite have the same competition, but you still have to be able to communicate to the media. And rather than as reported or according to reliable sources, it's always good to be able to convey your point of view. Maybe Pakistan feel that they don't have anything to convey, they have nothing to say, which is not surprising, so they've decided not to have that.
The point that you raised, Sai, the Indian team also, now they've also had 2 high-pressure games. I'm guessing it's as high pressure for India as for Pakistan. They've had the pre-match press conference for both games.
Not as high pressure, but chalo, theek hai.
I mean, okay, at least in terms of questions that can be thrown at the media, and I guess that's one of the reasons.
Oh, that's pressure, yeah.
Yes. So for India, they've had 2 press conferences last night, ensured that there's a pre-match press conference today as well, which Surya Kumar Yadav has done. People can hear that. But I'm talking from Pakistan's point of view. Okay, it's not a one-off. They cancelled the pre-match press conference ahead of the UAE game because there was a lot of pressure about that. Will it go ahead or not? We also had a scenario where a game had to be started an hour late according to the scheduled time because Pakistan didn't take the bus to the ground. My point is that these are now not one offense that you could just disregard. There have been multiple offenses that have happened 3 times in a row. In an ideal world, some sort of an action should be taken.
Yeah, that's for the ACC, I would imagine. The ACC has
Sorry to butt in, but how will the ACC take any action against Pakistan considering Mohsin Naqvi is the head of PCB, Mohsin Naqvi is the head of Asian Cricket Council?
Well, so he's the number one over here. But there is another organization under him as well, which has got India, Sri Lanka, and all the other teams that are playing, plus those who are not playing. So that forms the Asian Cricket Council, and that will take a call whether there's now in this Asian Cricket Council there is a special governing committee for this tournament. I'm not aware of that. I think there's always a technical committee, to rule about injuries and replacements and stuff like that. But and I'm sure there will be a governing committee. I think the governing committee will probably want to know what's happening. See, for India, etc., it doesn't make a difference. For India, I'd say you haven't come, so I don't think India is going to get involved in this kind of a thing. India does not need any distractions. Look, they don't need any distraction. They're going well. They're playing top-class cricket. They don't want to get involved in that. So maybe it could be something where, in case there is something in the rule book saying that you have to be there, and if you're not there, maybe from the future onwards, and if you're not there, a point is deducted or something like that from your table, might be the way forward.
If I'm going to look at it from a cricketing point of view, I mentioned that Surya Kumar Yadav had a press conference yesterday. I don't think you've been able to hear it. I did. It was one of the most hilarious press conferences. He was asked about India, Pakistan, no handshake, everything. But he addressed every question if I could say, in Rohit Sharma style, very casually, just as he did at the toss also, where he forgot the name of which player. My point is, here you have an Indian captain who looked very relaxed, was sharing multiple jokes in the same press conference where tough questions was asked. And then here you have a Pakistan team which is trying to avoid a press conference, primarily because no tough questions are asked. What does it tell you from the outside before 2 teams take on the field?
That India is relaxed. India is prepared for whatever is at them on the field tomorrow. So I don't think that's going to make much of a difference to the Indian team. That even if there was a press conference, and even if Pakistan, whoever the Pakistan representative at the press conference was, whatever he would have said, I don't think it would have made a difference to the Indian team, because the Indian team is at a level of confidence which is very, very high. Nothing will make a difference to this Indian team. Whatever is said in and around them by Indians, by Pakistanis, by Sri Lankans, Bangladeshis, nothing is going to affect this Indian team because they are so focused on winning this tournament.
Okay, so as Mr. Gavaskar says, the Indian team quite focused. You talk about focus, so clearly Indian team very relaxed. The other bit is there's a certain Dr. Rahil Karim, who's a sports psychologist that Pakistan have gotten within their camp, apparently to give a motivational speech ahead of the India-Pakistan encounter. This is a question that I was asked on our digital platform when I was doing a live. Many people asked me when I gave them this news. They said, do you really need any more motivation if you're playing a team like India? What do you make of getting in another additional support staff? Is it because of what happened in the previous game? You need, shoulders could be down. It was a one-sided encounter.
I think whatever has happened in and around after that game, I think maybe that is the reason why they feel that they need somebody to come and maybe motivate them or get them focused on the job ahead tomorrow. We'll only find out tomorrow whether that's been effective or not. At the end of the day, like you said, playing against India or playing against Pakistan, it is not playing against. It is playing for your country that is the greatest motivation. Who you play does not matter. Yes, I think in terms of the competition the next day, if you're playing, say, a non-major team, if I might use that word with no disrespect, like a UAE or an Oman, the pressure might not be the same. While if you're playing Sri Lanka or a Bangladesh or fellow sort of test-playing nations, then it might be a different kind of pressure. But the pride and the honor of playing for your country is the greatest motivation.
Yes, that's correct. As Mr. Gavaskar here was putting it, that the pride for playing for your country is, of course, primary. The other big headline, and headlines don't seem to stop. Andy Pycroft, the name that we have been talking about. I think this is the most anyone would have discussed Andy Pycroft after his retirement from international cricket, as it's happened in the last few days, is once again the match referee between India and Pakistan. That should make it an even more spicier contest.
No, I don't think so. I think it will. His job will be just to be there at the toss. That's probably going to be his only interaction with the players. After that, he goes and sits in his room along with the TV umpire, the DRS referral umpires, and he will be there. And he will obviously observe what's happening, and if any action has to be taken against somebody, if there is a complaint from the on-field umpire or whatever, he'll have to deal with that. But right. I think once the toss is done, I don't think he comes into the picture at all.
I'm going to look at now cricketing matters. The Indian team, many would say survived a little bit of a scare against. No. What were your thoughts about the game? You think they were on it's a horse racing analogy that I took. You're galloping or canter. Some horses win on a canter where they really don't need to whip the horse. Yeah. He wins. Would you say it was something like that?
It was something like that, and I think it was a good thing that it happened, because to have 40 overs on the ground was very, very important, because India won the first game in 18 overs out of 40 overs. Then the second game also they won pretty comfortably. So they were not really stretched. So yes, there was never any danger of them actually losing. But the fact that their bowlers were challenged, and of course they didn't have the two regular bowlers, Jasprit Bumrah and Chakravarti were not there. But the fact that they were challenged will mean that the bowlers will have had to think a little bit more. The bowlers would have had to bowl their 4 overs, etc. And so therefore everybody over there would have got a very good sweat out. I think such an important aspect, sweat out. I would have obviously preferred, because you're starting the Super 4, I would have preferred maybe another day's break tomorrow, and then the match being played day after. But obviously you've got to take into account that it's a holiday tomorrow, big viewership, big people at the ground. Even at Abu Dhabi for the India-Oman game, it was a sizable crowd. And it just tells you what India brings to the table. But people keep on talking about why India should get so much, etc. Look what India brings. Apart from what India gives, that's another matter. But look what it brings also to the table.
Okay, finally, before we let you go, Saibhai, in terms of now that India made too many changes in the Oman game, you go back to that India-Pakistan 11, or maybe is there a place for bringing another bowler, because death overs were a bit expensive. With the new ball, you're not picking up too many wickets, or you think, no, that was fine. Batting till number 8 and your 3 spinners and 1 fast bowler and all-rounder in Hardik.
That's what I think they will look to do. Because even yesterday, Arshdeep and Harshit were taken for a few runs. So I think they will probably also, they would want more overs under their belt, of course. And they didn't get that. So clearly I think they will certainly go with Jasprit and Hardik Pandya with the new ball, and then the spinners.